Here at the Giver Marketing Network, we don't leave you drifting out in space. We connect you to a coach who will help you build and grow your marketing business. Our process acts as a guide on how to connect with other businesses, maintain good relations, and establish a presence on the Giver Marketing Network. Each member within this collaborative group will have the opportunity to leverage your talent and influence, a true network effect. If you are looking to collaborate on more projects, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network, the most trusted and highest rated collective of specialists on the planet. Here we have a group of like-minded professionals who focus on making valuable introductions and helping each other grow by teaming up. Imagine Upwork meets a network and a coach. The talent collectively includes services like visibility and SEO, creating logos, designing websites, managing social media, outreach messaging, visual storytelling, and much more. Think of what you could do with laser-focused allies, strengthening your business while offering your talents to the entire network. Click near this video for more information.
I thoroughly enjoy my time and learn something every time I talk with this person. So I'm bringing to the stage right now the one, the only, Daniel Knight, CEO of Unicorn Universe.
Woo. Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, Christine.
You know, you're talking about one of my favorite areas of talking also. So I'm like, ooh. So I can't wait to hear what you're sharing with us today. We are going to have some fun. But Daniel, for those that don't know you yet, tell us a little bit about you so they know why they are amongst the greatest.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you, Christine and Timothy, and also shout out to Oz for connecting us initially. Really just feel super aligned with the Giver Marketing Network and totally agree with you 100%. We always have really great conversations. I don't know if you'll be able to learn anything today, though, because we're really talking about referrals, and you're the networking diva, the referral queen, like whatever accolades we can give you for referrals, like you got them. So anybody watching you, anybody who knows you already knows that. So and I'm, like I said, going to be talking about how to leverage referral partnerships to scale and grow your business. And
one of my favorite topics. Yeah.
So so we'll see if you learn anything new today. That's a win for me. So
well, and a little bit more about you. So you've got Unicorn Universe, and Giver Marketing loves to partner with other organizations. You've had Unicorn Universe for a couple of years now or something, haven't you?
Yeah, we just passed 5 years in business with Unicorn Universe. Yes, thank you. And so everything we do, well, really everything that I do is focused on creating a world of more unity, abundance, and joy. And that's 100% what Unicorn Universe is all about, all through connections and powerful relationships. And so I love that we're wrapping it up today because there's so much talk of technology, and me, I am technology's biggest advocate. However, I'm also a huge proponent of building relationships, and that there's going to be, if not there already is, a huge disconnect between people and technology and people connecting with other people. So I just think that it's super important. This is a marketing summit, so we're bringing in different ways to leverage referral partnerships and all that to generate marketing and attention and all that. So it'll be a good topic. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think we're you and I both love technology, but we love relationships. And so there's got to be a blend and balance between those. So I think we are the official bridge.
100%. Yeah.
So pull your slides up. You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
Do it. Awesome. So like I said, we're talking about how to leverage referral partnerships to scale your business. We're going to cover some frameworks and different things to generate explosive growth. A lot of what I do, again, focuses on partnerships. So so you can go to the next one. So like I said, we're going to be covering the keys to referral partnerships. Super critical that those are followed and implemented. If you want to have a successful business that is consistently receiving referrals, those are going to be super important to follow. We'll also touch on different ways to leverage referral partners to generate additional reach and attention in your business, how to create collaborative relationships that'll drive those results, and then talk about golden connections. I have a few different terms with these, and we'll get into that a little bit later, but these can effectively create a wormhole in your universe to transform everything and help you achieve your goals much, much faster as if you were to go through a wormhole. So we'll get into that as well in a little bit, and just have some fun. So who am I? Why should you even listen to me? Obviously, Daniel Knight, like I said, founder and chief executive unicorn of Unicorn Universe. I also have a mastermind called the 10X Unicorn Mastermind. So I'm going to be weaving in some of the 10X strategies to the referral partnership discussion today and having some fun with that. So I was born in Spain. Not a lot of people know that about me. I grew up in Utah, and then I just moved to Arizona about 3 months ago, and 3 years ago. Well, it's a whole different story. If you want to dig into that, we can chat. But yeah, about 3 years ago, and I love it here, especially as I'm watching everybody else get snowed in and people canceling meetings because they can't make it back to their computer. Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, just crossed 70 degrees out here. Like, I'm out in the morning drinking my coffee in my shorts and a short sleeve shirt with my dogs running around and standing in the sunshine. It's great. I love it. So, and then I'm the middle of 7 kids. That's kind of a lesser known fact, but, growing up in Utah, definitely fell into the stigma of having a large family. And that's been a lot of fun. So, through the referral side of things, as Christine mentioned, I have created a community called Unicorn Universe. This has been, my everything for the past 5 years, blood, sweat, and tears focused on creating collaborative relationships between our members that can generate referrals, strategic partnerships, and ultimately create wins that, generate new business. So we've got about 100 members in the community now. We've gone through all sorts of changes to kind of really make sure we're supporting the right people and really just focusing on collaborations and referral partnerships. I've generated nearly $1 million in referral commissions, which is pretty cool. I was just running the numbers today to kind of see around where that's at. It's about 800 and some change, but hey, I'll take that. I mean, that's some pretty solid, money for people to be making from referrals. And that's giving referrals, right? So that's been pretty cool. Myself, I've generated a pretty substantial amount through making those connections happen. I can't even tell you how great it's been on some more challenging months for a referral commission to pay for an introduction that I made, 6 months ago. It's awesome. So, And then on top of that, I've helped facilitate referral partnerships, strategic partnerships that have generated nearly $100 million in revenue funding through different strategies and things that we've implemented. And so that's been really cool to know that business owners have increased their bottom line through a lot of those relationships, and that the people making those referrals have gotten commissions as well. So
obviously Daniel knows his metrics.
Hey, you gotta stay on top of them, right? Otherwise,
you do.
Otherwise, who knows where you're at? So,
That's right.
So let's get into it. And it's going to be kind of a different approach with how the referrals and the marketing come together, but we'll get into that. As anybody in business knows, referrals are the best. There's nothing better than having a warm introduction sent to you that is from somebody that who knows you, likes you, trusts you, passes that on to somebody else, and they're now sitting in front of you. And you can look into it, but referrals on average convert 3 to 5 times higher than a cold lead in B2B. And on top of that, they're going to close a lot more as well. Average close rate is 30%. That's pretty standard. I would say my close rate's a lot higher when I actually get a warm referral. But it's just a really incredible way to receive business. As great as it is to have, consistent leads coming into your system, those can be a lot of work. And a lot of the time they don't show up. They don't take action as quicker. You have to go through the whole rapport building and trust building part of the process, which is fine. And you still need to do that with referrals. But something magical happens when somebody says, hey, I know this person, they do what you need, you should chat. So I don't think most people here need to be educated really on why referrals are so powerful, but it's really worth keeping in mind if you don't have a solid referral strategy and system in place, that this is something that can really be a game changer. And if you do it right, it's honestly a powerful lever you can pull too. If things are maybe slowed down a little bit, or you have a new offer and you're looking to get some feedback on it, when you have that system in place and you know which levers to pull, you can all of a sudden be on a call within a couple of days of high quality, qualified target prospects for you to communicate with. So super powerful way to do business. And again, having a system in place where it's consistent and it almost feels like you're running paid ads, that's really magical. Ask anybody, if you're going to fill your calendar with meetings with people you got referred to versus cold meetings that were set from an ad, I would pick the calendar full of referral meetings all day long, wouldn't you? Yeah. Cool. Next slide. Okay, so what's the key to any referral partnership? It's pretty obvious, right? Right, Christine? Relationships. Hello. If you want to receive referrals, focus on the referral partnership, the person that you have a relationship with, and really stay on top of them. It's super important to have some sort of expectations set with that person. And one of the questions that I've been implementing in a lot of my conversations with people, especially strategic partners, is what can I count on you for, right? So a lot of the time we create these partnerships, we create these relationships. Somebody says, oh yeah, I'm going to promote you. I'll make all these referrals, whatever. That's great. But what can I really count on you for? It kind of puts the ball back in their court to tell you what they're going to do. And it just kind of creates another level of accountability. And so nurturing those relationships, super important. Making sure you're top of mind. You can do this in so many different ways, whether you're, keeping them in your email list, creating a group of your different referral partners, sending them referrals. I always tell anybody, the best way to get referrals is to give referrals. Pretty straightforward, but that's going to be the best way to make it happen.
Absolutely. I know with Giver Marketing, we talk about referral ping pong, right? Okay, I lobbed 3 at you, you lob 3 back, and I'll lob 3 more. So I tell people, I invite them to play referral ping pong with me. Whenever you want to play, let me know.
Totally. Well, and Christine, you're literally the best at it. You jump on a call with Christine and play that referral ping pong, and it's powerful. So powerful. We just created a container for it in Unicorn Universe where everyone's sharing referrals with each other. We gotta, and I like referral ping pong. I like our referral power hour. It's a good name for it.
I think it is, right? It's a newer game we've started playing on a larger scale. So I think we're going to have fun with it. I know the last one was fun.
100%. Yeah. So, and Christine, I want to ask you this. How many referrals would you say you give for every one you receive?
That's a really large number. I was looking at my metrics the other day going, maybe I don't want to look at that. I always forget to ask, and I'll tell people, what do you want in return? I'm like, introduce me to the do-gooders that you know. And that literally just put the happy, good people doing good in the world in my space, and I'm happy. Doesn't matter if they close. It doesn't matter if I sign them on as a client. I just want them in my ecosphere, right? So how you measure success might be different. But I'm going to say, I was just looking the other day. I think I've sent, I don't know, is it close to 600 referrals on the My Most Trusted app? So
Wow. That's incredible. I mean, and here's the thing, you probably get referrals all the time, right?
yeah.
And do you think if you were worrying about like, oh, I'm sending this person all these referrals, they haven't sent me anything. Like if you were worrying about that, I don't imagine you're worrying about that. Do you feel like you would receive as many referrals?
I think if you are relationship focused, you're more concerned about adding value to each other, right?
100%.
It doesn't necessarily have to come in the form of a referral, right? So
Yeah.
when we're building our relationships, right, there's other ways to do that also.
Yeah, 100%. And that just kind of leads me to the next box is giving 10 times more, giving so much more in value than you ever expect in return, leading to the next box. Don't really expect anything. If you're creating this relationship and you don't feel you actually have anything to give, chances are it's out of balance and you're going to be dissatisfied because if you're expecting something without any opportunity to give back in some way, or at least the intention, it's not likely to really turn into anything. And I've given hundreds and hundreds of referrals as well. The number that I've received is a fraction to how many I've given, but I know that because I've given so many, I mean, I'm, like I said, anywhere from 5 to 15 referrals in a week. People ask me all the time, like, where do you get most of your business? I'm like, referrals. I don't even know how, but I just have like all these meetings on my calendar. It's because of my referral strategy. And I have a template to respond when somebody, makes the introduction, and you've seen it 100 times. Just say, thank you for the intro. Would love to chat with you. Here's my link. Feel free to send yours if that's easier. Super simple, gives them a call to action. I don't really think much more about it until I'm about to meet with them. But I know that because I give so much and I follow the system and the process to do it, that's why I have so many.
You have to trust in the process, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those that aren't really, there's a certain balance in a relationship, right? At some point, they're not going to book more appointments with you to get more referrals if they haven't given anything back. So they kind of self-opt out of the process. Right. If they're feeling like they're not living up to their expectations, right? So it all ends up balancing out in the end.
Right. Yeah. 100%. So, and that, again, all of that really is key to referral relationships being successful, and giving. Just give so much more than you ever expect to receive. Just like is talked about in the book, The Go-Giver. You give and it will come back to you.
Whoops. I'm assuming he'll start talking again in any moment now. Well, so we're talking about expecting nothing. That's an attitude, right? It's the idea of abundance. So as long as you're feeling that feeling of abundance, that you can move forward with that, and you're not necessarily like, what's in it for me, right? It's a different mindset, I think, when you start playing with relationships and how
and then the
works.
last part of this,
we had him and then he disappeared again. I think he's talking about the last part, which is date before marriage. That's my guess. Oh, and there he goes. I'm sure he'll be back in the studio in just a moment. But like I said, this is one of my favorite topics, right? The idea of dating before you marry somebody. That's good stuff right there, right? You can't expect them to hand you the keys to the kingdom until you get to know each other and build a relationship. Was that where you were going with that, Daniel?
100%.
See? It's like I can read your unicorn mind.
I was like, this works out. Christine has the slides. She can literally run through this and she'll nail it. Like, I'll be good.
It could be, but we might need the slides again.
Oh, did you lose them?
I did when you got booted out. So you were see, this is what you get for talking about that sunshine and the rest of us dealing with snow. I'm just saying.
All right, it's in there. All right, let's go. Thank you for your patience. Yeah, apparently my sunshine does not fix Wi-Fi problems. So, yeah, I mean, you nailed it on the date before marriage. I heard what you were saying just as we were coming in. But what I was just saying before it, so lovingly tested my patience was uh, just that creating a referral relationship is a good stepping stone to a strategic partnership. Because a lot of the time, if you're looking at creating a strategic partnership with somebody, sometimes you can start with just a simple referral partnership, right? Oh, great. You have aligned clients, you have this aligned opportunity, whatever. Why don't we try some out first? Send me a few, I'll send you a few. Let's try out this partnership before we sign it, right? Before it's inked in stone.
That's right.
So, and I discovered the arrows. I can do it
Yay,
myself.
you found the arrows.
I didn't even have to tell you the next slide. So, so what are some things you can do? What are some things you can do to kind of date before you marry a potential partner, but more so to really create an increase in your reach with marketing? I think your referral partners, strategic partners, people that are working with aligned audiences are a really powerful way to generate additional exposure and collaborate with them to really kind of feel out what works and what's effective and what resonates with the audience. Obviously on Instagram and on some of the other platforms, you can collaborate with people where you add somebody to a post and it'll actually post it as if they did. That's a really powerful way to create leverage out of a single piece of content. Super powerful to share stages and podcasts and speaking engagements and things like that. Another really cool thing is to collaborate on networking events. If you and your referral partner are looking to find referrals to share with each other, consider putting on a networking event. Find an aligned niche that you can go in on, just like we're doing with this summit around marketing, and get all the people who are aligned with it to create a collaborative networking event. We're doing one with H7 in about a month, and we're collaborating on this speed networking event. Pretty aligned as far as like what our communities offer, who we're working with, and things like that. But I'm sure we're both likely to sign up new members from that event because of our collaborative approach on that and get into new circles and all that.
Yeah, and it's not mutually exclusive. Most people join more than one group anyway, right? So it just makes sense. Why not, get our people marrying each other too?
Right. And there are seasons, going into, I think it was 2023, I had identified, I was capping myself to 7 groups, 7, which I know might not sound like that many to you, Christine, but to most other people, that's probably like, holy cow, that's a lot.
That's a lot to juggle. No, I'll give you 7 will keep you busy.
And it just kind of depends on how active you are, right? I like to really be active and engaged when I'm part of a group. So it's just going to have a better result, right? And it's going to generate more referrals, right? When you are showing up to these other networking events and you're really making a name for yourself, people get to know you. They get familiar with you. I was just at an event a week and a half ago. I was moderating the panel, but I had multiple people ask me, like, how was my event? Asking me, talking to me like I created the event, like I put it on, like I was the host. And I was like, that's so funny. I really didn't do a whole lot for this other than, show up and moderate the panel. I did help with some setup, but like people didn't think that it was my event just because of that. They thought it was my event because of how involved I am with the group and how, consistent I am that, and I do hold like a council position with it. So I need to take more ownership with that, but it was really more so because of the showing up. So these are just really different ways to get recognition. Marketing is all about touch points and how many times you're able to get your name, your message, your offer, your call to action in front of people is really everything. I would argue that for every minute you spend with somebody in person, is worth 10 times the amount of time that they spend looking at any one of your posts on social media or anything, probably even more than that. And so you can get into an event, speak, whatever. It's going to create even more recognition. So obviously there are other ways you can collaborate with your referral partners. You can do a podcast together. You can go host a webinar, kind of like what we're talking about with the summit. You can leverage your referral partners, of course, for direct referrals, but then also those strategic partners. So kind of going into the who's is kind of figuring out who you can identify and work with that's going to create even greater results. And then ask your referral partners for interest to those people. So how are we on time, Christine?
Well, you are the last speaker. So you know what? We're not going to inconvenience anybody except our audience. So you do you, Daniel. I'm in it to the end.
We're pretty much there anyway. I just wanted to know because because this slide right here, the 10x partners, I call them a couple different things depending on which world of mine you're in. So I'll call them either wormholes or golden connections. But these are really those strategic partners that can take you from where you're at now and like take you through a wormhole to where you want to be. Imagine, a strategic partner that has already accomplished a lot of what you want to accomplish. They've already gone through those trenches. They've built the community. They've built the email list. They've built the audience, whatever it is. Those partners, you need to really nurture them for them to work out. But if you stay on top of it long enough, they can take you literally from where you're at and teleport you into a completely different business. And this is really how a strategic partnership, the right one, when it's nurtured right, can be 10 times more impactful than any other marketing strategy, because this effectively is a marketing strategy. You leverage their lists, you leverage their audiences, you leverage their clients. Maybe you can even incorporate your service as an option into their product or service. And before you know it, all of a sudden, they're just making the sales for you and including it as like a license or a subscription or like a bonus or something like that. And you can go from, 10 clients to 100 to 1,000 before you know it. And there are a lot of case studies around this that show people actually doing that because of those strategic partnerships. So who are those partners? And I really encourage that you think big with this because it doesn't hurt to ask and really reach for the stars. Reach for those partners that can change everything for you. So kind of backing into like who those ideal referral partners are is kind of identifying like who's showing up the most, who really loves what you do and has complementary offers to what you're doing. If you can identify those kind of people, they're going to make really great referral partners. The other thing that you can approach it, like I said, is kind of with the wormholes, is who's already achieved what you're doing. So I always encourage people to have like massive, crazy, totally unrealistic goals, but then identify if somebody has ever done something similar to what you want to accomplish. And if so, replicating what they've done to implement in your business can really transform everything. And we don't need to reinvent the wheel if somebody's already done it. Even better, can you partner with that person? Because if so, like that can really change everything.
Absolutely. It's amazing what you can do with the right strategic partners on your team.
Yeah, 100%. So I really encourage, spending some time and thinking about this, identifying what you want clients for and who has those clients, who can really help you achieve those goals. That can really do everything. And like, I just so badly want to dig into this, but we're going to move on to it. But I really just encourage, again, spend some time thinking about like, okay, how could I leverage a strategic partner to get me in front of other people? This is a perfect example, right?
Yeah. What does this look like, right? Is this somebody and you want to get on stages and they know people that, have stages? Is it right? What is it that you can do? Normally you can find some way to work together. I love doing the co-hosting on the webinars. Obviously, it's one of my favorites, but sky's the limit, really. Think outside the box And you need to be intentional. I often refer to intentional networking, right? So you're intentionally building those relationships. It's not just a monetary business thing. It's actually building relationships with people you like, that you want to do business with. Because if you didn't like them and they were your strategy or referral partner, right? Like, oh, that sounds painful.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why we say date before you marry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, anyway, and I'm happy to dig into this more with anybody. So, you know, I have learned through a lot of the successes that I've created that it really is those strategic partnerships that that it kind of comes down to that can really change everything. So, a lot of those metrics that I shared earlier, you know, it took a lot of swings in order to find the ones that really connected. But then it's it's the 80-20 principle, right? It's the one partner that the 20% that produces 80% of the results. And it's 100% true when it comes to referral partners and strategic partnerships, and why it's good to date first, right? So that you can kind of test to make sure that things are going to happen, right? But yeah, those have really created the majority of the results. Is just a few key partners. So let's go to the next one. So, and I don't want to take too much time, so we'll just kind of fly through this. But think of these questions when you are identifying partners to establish with your business. Is really just, you know, identifying who would make an exceptional referral partner. What is it that is complementary to what you're offering? Maybe complements your weaknesses with their strengths, or vice versa. You can think about, you know, what one partnership, if you were to create this partnership, would literally just change everything, and then get after it. Start identifying companies that fit that description. You know, I'm here on this Giver Marketing broadcast because of a community partnership between Unicorn Universe and Giver Marketing Network. Super powerful. I just talked about another event that we're collaborating with H7 Networks, which has about 1,300 members that we're going to be doing in February. And I'm doing that with so many different communities. And so what are those communities that you're leveraging, that you're really showing up in, so that you have a name that when you do collaborate, it's not just like, oh, this is random, never heard of this, but you actually have some familiarity built in. And then there are tons of tools and things, right? We talk a lot about the My Most Trusted extension, leveraging some of the different community platforms and things can definitely be super helpful. And then, yeah, just getting on the different stages and things and leveraging other people's networks. So I'm just going to keep this super simple. Okay. After a full day of marketing, I imagine that this has been touched on a handful of different times. But here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize that this is essential when it comes to referral relationships too. You got to make it super clear what the problem is that you're solving for people, and make that solution super compelling. If you are going to establish a referral relationship with somebody, that avatar needs to be super clear. You need to be able to describe who it is that you're looking to connect with, so that they can identify those connections and make those referrals without a problem. And then this is kind of like a bonus item, is having like a free gift, a free experience, a free way for people to experience what you do and get to know who you are before, you know, trying to jump to, you know, whatever else it is, trying to jump to a sale, or, you know, making it hard for people. It's got to be easy for people to refer you, and that's going to create the most referrals.
Yeah, I love this. And, you know, I don't think we touched on this nearly enough today. So I love that you have this. It seems so basic, but it's so true. If people aren't sending you referrals, but you're networking and you're building relationships, either they're confused on what you offer, so they don't know how to refer you. Sometimes they need help. Sometimes you might need to give them a script. Sometimes you might want to say, these are the keywords to look for, right? But there's some kind of problem with that. Or you're not asking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, that's what it boils down to, right? Or maybe you're not referable for some other reason that we need to fix.
Right. Well, and this is also a really good way to test your marketing messaging too, is with your referral partners. Share your offer, share your problem solution statement, your call to action, right? If they feel like, oh, this is a home run, like I want to share this with everybody, chances are that's going to convert really well on your ads and on your landing pages and your email copy and all of that too, right? And so those referral partners can become sounding boards because they have your best interest at heart, because if your offer is dialed in and they know that you're going to generate more sales, they're going to earn more commissions from it too. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I was just thinking about, a lot of times people say, so what is it that you do? I go, I just did it. And they're like, oh, you just experienced your coaching session with me by the time you finished our one-on-one. And they're like, wow. Right. So experiencing is a great way to help. So sometimes the referral partnership involves doing what you do with the other person, right? In an exchange of services. I know Timothy Morgan with Giver Marketing likes to do that because it really helps him understand what the other person does, right? So they might swap services. That's what we call it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Well, and anytime we have something that's like just so good that we know all these people who it can help, it's really hard for us not to share it. Like,
we can't help ourselves.
It's an ethics thing at the end of the day. It's like, I know someone who needs this. I need to get it to you. Like, if you can create your referral process in a way that makes it, that makes that true, you're going to get a lot more referrals.
Absolutely. I was just thinking I'll get a message on LinkedIn. There, somebody will pitch me. I'm like, oh, no, but you want to talk to so-and-so. Let me introduce you.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. Well, that's it on this. So we're about halfway there, and the rest of it's going to come through being part of the community. Yeah, I'm just kidding. You like that? We're not. So that's all that I've got for us today. My gift to anybody here is really just join the Unicorn Universe community. All of it really focused on referrals. You can go to school.com/unicorn universe and you'll see the community in there. I also invite people to check out one of our connection events. We do these every Friday. Now, coming on 3.5 years of running a virtual connection event each week, and all about just supporting each other with connections to grow our business. So, really enjoy that. Again, all of it designed to help create a world of more unity, abundance, and joy. So really appreciate you.
Abundance. Yes.
Yes.
Well, I dropped those links in the chat. So if you look at the chat, you should have it in there also, but scan that. That'll take them into what, the Friday meeting? Is that?
So the QR code will take people to our school community. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep. So free to join, really just kind of get a feel for it. As I mentioned earlier, it's important to have a free gift. That's kind of like our free gift, both the community and the connection event. You can get referrals and connections and tools and different resources through the school platform, and meet new people on our Friday calls. So, so that's pretty much it.
I'm going to say, get plugged into the Unicorn Universe community. We like to play in each other's playgrounds. We let you come play with Giver. Giver plays with unicorns. I mean, it's a happy place all around, right?
Yeah.
I'm H7, right? We do a lot of stuff with H7. So there are some organizations that I just think have big hearts, and their members have big hearts. So those are the playgrounds that I like to play in. So I'm going to say thank you so much. You brought your A game as always, Daniel, and we'll have to see you in the next unicorn meeting, huh?
Yes. Thanks, Christine.